Hey there, deep dive. Ready? This one's for you. We're going deep into AI,
Yeah.
specifically a company called DeepSeek.
Okay.
They've been kind of sending shock waves through the tech world, and you want to understand why?
Yeah, they're a Chinese AI company
Oh, okay.
that's really caught everybody's attention because they've developed an AI model called R1, and it's rivaling ChatGPT's capabilities.
Oh, wow.
But what makes it even more interesting is that they've done this with significantly fewer resources than you might expect.
So let's get to know DeepSeek a little bit.
Sure.
They were founded in 2023 in Hangzhou, China,
Right.
which is becoming kind of a major tech hub.
That's right. And they're a relatively small company, only about 100 to 200 people, but they're incredibly ambitious.
Okay.
Their founder is really focused on research and has a big goal to create artificial general intelligence,
Okay, AGI.
or AGI.
What exactly does that mean?
So AGI, or artificial general intelligence, is a hypothetical kind of AI
Right.
that can understand and reason like a human being. It would be able to perform any intellectual task that a human can.
Wow.
It's a really ambitious goal, and it's fascinating that DeepSeek is aiming for it.
So tell me about this R1 model that has everybody talking. How does it compare to ChatGPT?
Well, R1 is matching, and in some cases even surpassing ChatGPT's performance in various benchmarks.
Okay.
And here's the kicker. DeepSeek claims they built this cutting-edge AI for less than $6 million in just 2 months.
Wow. That's an incredible feat. It's impressive that they've achieved so much with limited resources.
It is. And to add another layer of intrigue, they've decided to open source R1.
Okay.
This means anyone can access and study the model,
Right.
which is a pretty unusual move in the competitive world of AI development.
Yeah.
They even have smaller, distilled versions, including one that can run on a typical laptop.
So anyone could potentially experiment with this powerful AI technology. That opens up a lot of possibilities.
Exactly. Now, to understand the full impact of DeepSeek's emergence, we need to consider the context of the U.S. chip sanctions.
Okay.
Back in 2022, President Biden banned the sale of advanced chips to China.
Yeah, the U.S. was kind of aiming to slow down China's AI development by restricting their access to these crucial components. It was almost like saying, we've got the chips and you don't.
Right. But DeepSeek reportedly managed to acquire a stockpile of over 10,000 high-performing NVIDIA chips before the ban went into effect.
Wow, so they were thinking ahead.
It seems they were.
That was a strategic move. But some people, including Elon Musk, have questioned those numbers, haven't they?
There has been some skepticism.
Yeah.
Some speculate they might have more chips than they're letting on,
Right.
while others suggest they might be leveraging ChatGPT's progress to train their own AI.
It's understandable that such a bold claim would raise some eyebrows.
It does. However, DeepSeek's decision to open source their research
Okay.
adds a layer of transparency.
Right.
They're inviting others to scrutinize their methods and even try to replicate their results.
Okay. So how did they manage to achieve such impressive results with, at least according to them, limited resources? What's their secret?
Their innovation lies in a unique approach to AI architecture
Okay.
called Mixture of Experts, or MO.
Mo.
Yeah, imagine an AI as having a team of specialized experts.
Okay.
One for image recognition, another for text analysis, another for speech recognition, and so on.
Okay. I'm picturing this AI expert team. Go on.
Traditionally, AI systems might activate all of these experts for any given task,
Okay.
even if only one or two are actually needed.
Right.
DeepSeek's MOE approach is more efficient. They only activate the relevant experts for the task at hand.
I see. So instead of having the whole team working on every problem, they delegate tasks to the specialists.
Exactly. For example, if you want to identify a cat in a picture, the AI only activates the animal recognition expert.
Okay.
The text analysis or speech recognition experts remain inactive, saving processing power and time.
That's a clever way to make the AI faster and more efficient. DeepSeek is really shaking things up by showing that innovative thinking can sometimes be more valuable than simply throwing more computing power at a problem.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what makes their story so fascinating. DeepSeek is challenging the assumption that you need massive data sets and supercomputers to create powerful AI.
This has sparked a lot of discussion, particularly in the U.S.
Now that brings us to how the U.S. is reacting to this unexpected challenge. DeepSeek's success is being viewed as a bit of a wake-up call, wouldn't you say?
It is safe to say that they've ruffled some feathers in
Yeah.
the U.S. tech world. Their achievements have definitely challenged some long-held assumptions
Okay.
about AI development and who leads the field.
Yeah, it must be Quite a shock to see a relatively small company, especially one operating under sanctions, making such significant strides.
It has been, and there have been different reactions.
Yeah.
For example, Elon Musk
Oh, right.
has publicly questioned whether DeepSeek really achieved all of this with limited resources.
He suggests they might have more computational power than they're admitting.
That's interesting. What are some other reactions to DeepSeek in the U.S.?
There's a sense of urgency,
Okay.
a feeling that the U.S. might be losing its edge in the global AI race.
Right.
Remember, the chip sanctions were intended to slow down China's progress, but DeepSeek seems to have turned that into a motivator for innovation.
So it's like they're saying, we might not have all the resources, but we can still outsmart you.
Exactly. This has sparked a lot of debate about the best path forward for AI development in the U.S. Some argue that throwing more money at the problem, like buying up chips or building bigger data centers,
Right.
isn't the most effective strategy.
So what are the alternatives? What are people suggesting the U.S. should focus on instead?
There's a growing movement advocating for a shift in focus. Instead of just prioritizing brute computational force, there's a push for investing in research that prioritizes efficiency and innovative approaches, much like DeepSeek has demonstrated.
It sounds like DeepSeek is forcing the U.S. to rethink its strategy. It's not just about having the most powerful hardware, it's about using it wisely and fostering a culture of creative problem solving.
I think that's a key takeaway.
Yeah.
DeepSeek has highlighted the potential of innovation within constraints.
Yeah, that's fascinating. It challenges the idea that you need unlimited resources to make groundbreaking advancements.
It does.
Yeah.
And this brings us to some broader questions about the future of AI.
Okay, let's dive into those.
Right.
What kind of philosophical questions does DeepSeek's success raise?
Well, for one, it makes us reconsider the assumption that bigger is always better when it comes to AI.
Okay.
DeepSeek has shown that you don't necessarily need massive data sets and supercomputers to create powerful AI.
That's a significant point, especially considering the environmental impact of running those massive systems. If we can achieve similar results with less energy, that's a win for sustainability.
Absolutely. And it prompts us to think about what we're really trying to achieve with AI. Are we simply trying to create systems that can outthink humans? Or should we be focusing on AI that is beneficial and accessible to a wider range of people?
That's an important question to consider. If AI is going to shape our future, we need to make sure it's a future we want to live in. DeepSeek seems to be suggesting that maybe there's a different path forward, one that prioritizes efficiency, accessibility, and maybe even a bit of ingenuity over just brute force.
I think that's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
Now, taking a step back from the U.S.-centric perspective,
Okay.
there are also some interesting questions about what DeepSeek's success means for the global AI landscape.
What kind of impact do you think DeepSeek will have on a global scale?
Well, for one, it could potentially shift the balance of power in the AI world.
Okay.
DeepSeek's emergence challenges the idea that certain countries or companies have an inherent advantage simply because they have more resources.
So DeepSeek could be leveling the playing field in a sense.
It's possible, and it could also inspire other companies and researchers, regardless of location, to adopt a similar approach, focusing on efficiency and innovative thinking over sheer scale.
That could lead to a more diverse and dynamic AI landscape, which could ultimately benefit everyone.
It could, but it also raises questions about collaboration and competition in the AI field.
Right.
Will DeepSeek's open source approach encourage more sharing of knowledge and resources?
Yeah.
Or will it intensify the race to develop even more powerful AI?
Those are great questions. And speaking of collaboration, I'm curious to know what impact DeepSeek might have on open source AI development. They've already made their R1 model accessible, which is a big step in that direction.
I think DeepSeek's actions could be a catalyst for the open source AI movement.
Right.
Their decision to make their work freely available could encourage other companies and researchers to do the same.
That would be incredible. Imagine a world where anyone, regardless of their background or resources, could contribute to the development of AI.
It's a compelling vision, and DeepSeek's approach could help to make it a reality. They've shown that it's possible to achieve significant results without relying on massive, closed-off research labs.
Okay, so we've explored how DeepSeek has challenged the status quo in the U.S., raised important philosophical questions about the purpose of AI, and potentially shifted the balance of power in the global AI landscape. But what does this all mean for everyday people? How could DeepSeek's approach to AI development actually benefit them directly?
Yeah, that's a great question. We've talked about all this big picture stuff, but how could this impact someone's daily life?
Well, think back to how DeepSeek offers those smaller, distilled versions of their R1 model. One of them can even run on a regular laptop.
Right.
It's a huge leap in terms of accessibility.
So instead of needing access to some expensive supercomputer, people could potentially use sophisticated AI right on their own devices?
Exactly.
That's pretty amazing.
It is. Imagine students using R1 to help them grasp complex subjects, or writers using it to break through writer's block.
Wow.
Even artists could use it to spark creative ideas.
The possibilities are really exciting.
That makes AI feel a lot less intimidating and more like a tool anyone can use.
And DeepSeek's commitment to open sourcing their work
Right.
takes that accessibility even further.
Yeah.
It allows developers to build upon their research, potentially creating applications we haven't even imagined yet.
It's like they're giving everyone the building blocks to create something incredible.
That's a great analogy. It all circles back to DeepSeek's ambition to create AGI, artificial general intelligence.
Right.
While that's a long way off, their current approach suggests a focus on making AI that's not just powerful, but also beneficial and accessible to all of humanity.
So it's not about creating some superintelligence that replaces humans, but rather an AI that works alongside us to enhance our abilities and solve problems together.
Precisely. And that's a vision worth exploring.
Absolutely. It's inspiring to think that a company like DeepSeek could be at the forefront of making AI a force for good in the world.
It challenges the narrative that only the biggest players with the most resources can drive real innovation. Sometimes it's the ones who have to think differently, the ones who face constraints, that end up changing the game.
So as we wrap up this DeepSeek exploration, what's the key takeaway you hope our listener walks away with?
The biggest lesson here is that the future of AI is not set in stone. DeepSeek has demonstrated that innovation can come from unexpected places, and challenging assumptions can lead to incredible breakthroughs.
It's a reminder that we shouldn't underestimate the power of human ingenuity, even when the odds seem stacked against us.
Well said. For our listener, we hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity and inspired you to continue exploring the world of AI. Who knows? Maybe you'll be the one to make the next big discovery.
And on that note, we'll say goodbye for now. Keep asking questions, keep learning, and stay open to the incredible possibilities that lie ahead in our ever-changing world.